Hey everybody, it's Brooke. I fell down a rabbit hole with my Cricut and the pens. If you want to see where we went, stick around. So, you know how you start working on one project and then before you can get very far into that project, you kind of find something else that's interesting and you keep getting sidetracked? Well, that's what happened to me. And that was involving, yes, my Cricut and the pens. So I was starting to work on a project to use my Cricut and the pens, and I started noticing all the cool stuff that you can do with the fonts in your Cricut. There are a number of different ways of using them. This first thing that says spring, that is actually a cut file of a font. And I've just got it backed on some black paper so you can see it cut it out of this pale blue paper. And so it says spring. Then the next one is that same font using the drawing style in Cricut with the pen. And what that does is just outline the letters in the font. The next one is the writing style in Cricut, which uses the pen to write in, you know, a writing style, the same letter, same font. And then this last one is the drawing style of the font filled in. I think this is so fun. Same deal over here, different font. This one's cut, this one's drawn, this one is the writing style, this is the filled in drawn. So we are going to look at how to do all these different things, and then I'll come back with the other project that I originally started with. Let's go ahead and make that full size. We're going to start with a new project. So I'm going to insert some text, and let's make this say spring like it did in my sample project. Okay, and I think this time I'm going to use, let's see, a Cricut font. And there are tons of them available. If you don't have Cricut access, these may not be available, but that's fine. You can use anything that's installed on your Cricut, or on your computer rather. I need to get up further to the top. I think I like some of the funky ones up here. I'm going to go ahead and use this BFC burger and fries. Okay, and I'll make it just a little bit bigger so you can see it. And this, actually, you know what, I think I'll go ahead and zoom in on the screen. That might be easier for you to see. So this is what it would look like just as a cut file. The default is a cut file, and that's great. Having that cut out would be great. You could put another piece of paper behind it, and so you would have it be two colors. So that would be a lot of fun. The other thing we could do is duplicate this, scoot it down a little bit, and you can see here it's cut and the style is regular. If what we would like to do is actually write it with our pen, there you go. I switched it to the style to writing style, and it automatically switched itself to pen. And that's what it would look like. So we can duplicate that one, and we will switch it back to a regular style. And it defaults back to being a cut file. Well, this time, let's go ahead and say we want to write it with our pen, or draw it with our pen, rather. And that is the standard Cricut pen style, where it just does the outline of the letters. But I want to have this outline filled in. Okay, and here we are on the Cricut canvas. I had to re-record this part because I had a little technical difficulty. Sometimes Design Space can be a little finicky, and sometimes the operator can be a little bit of a goofball. So this is where we left off. This is our drawn word. I'm going to it's the copy of our drawn word. I'm going to move it over here and just make it a little bit bigger so hopefully you can see it. Okay, so then that's showing the outline of our word. Now what we want to do is use the new and cool offset feature. I guess it's not that new anymore. And instead of having a positive number here, you can see where the blue lines came up and that put the offset around the outside of it. We want that to be on the inside of our letters. So we're going to go ahead and change this to a negative number, making it an inset. And I found negative 0.025 is a good place to start. It does have to be negative. There we go. Let's go ahead and apply that. And there it goes. Can you see where it went to the inside of our letters? Okay, and now we want to do that again and hit apply. There we go. That did it. And we're just going to repeat that until the letters get filled up. So you can see here, it defaults to the last value that you used. So you can just hit apply again. And there's another one. And hit apply again. Offset, apply. Offset, apply. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit here and see. Whoopsie, you want to make sure if you're trying to move any of this that you grab them all the layers. And I'm just trying to move it down so you can see it better. Here we go. See all those lines inside? We do have some gaps, but all those lines are lines that are going to get drawn. So let's see if it'll fit one more in. So we'll hit offset. And there are the blue lines there. We'll fit another one in. Awesome. Let's see if it'll do one more. Offset. Yep, it's still going. And will it fit one more? It sure will. It's going like crazy. It's because it's so big. When we shrink it down, the gaps will be just about imperceptible. And you can just keep going until there is no more offset to be had. Okay. And I don't know if it'll take another one. Yep, there was one down there in the bottom of the N. I think that was probably it. And yep, that was it. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to make sure all of our offset lines or inset lines are the same color. So we will look over here, okay, and the pen says fine point black. Want to make sure they all say that. That one's going to be a fine point black. And I'm looking over here. If you see, this little box tells you what color. The only reason I'm changing them all is because otherwise the Cricut's going to have you stop and try to change pen colors. And this way you are all good to go. It'll just do it in one fell swoop. Now, if you wanted each one to be a different color, you can absolutely do that. And that one's a black. And that one's a black. Wow, that took a lot of offsets. Make sure that one's a black. That one is black. That one's a black. And the pen will make, yep. So that should be everything. Okay, so now we've got all those the same color. We want to go ahead and attach these now. Okay. So all of our layers are attached, and we can go ahead and make this the size of our other letters now. And you'll see that when we size this back down, those gaps are going to pretty much disappear. I think our other words were 2.5. Oh dear, I did not get them all attached. Do you see what happened? Just some of them shrunk. So let's do undo up here and draw a box over all of those and hit attach again. There, that time we got them all. So what you can do if that happens to you is just use your undo key and then make sure that you're catching all of the layers in the box that you're drawing. So we can go ahead and see where all the blank spots got filled in. Okay, so move this back up with our other guys, and we will attach all of them. So come over here, hit attach, and make it. And just follow the directions on your Cricut. See if we can get my Cricut to talk. Okay, and you're going to set your base material, which for me was just a medium cardstock, and press your default. And now it's going to tell you right here, so I missed one of the layers. It's going to tell you to load your midnight pen in clamp A, have your fine point blade in B, and then you're going to load your mat and press the flashing C like you always would. And it's telling you coming up is your black 0.4 pen. And had I caught all those color layers, we wouldn't have had another instruction. It would have just gone all the way through. But follow this screen, your Cricut will stop and it will tell you what to do next, what tool to switch next. And here's the secret. If you decide you want those letters to be, say, turquoise, just put a turquoise pen in. Your Cricut's not going to know what color pen. The Cricut police will not come. And just go ahead and finish your setup and go to your Cricut machine and do what it tells you. And here we are with it all done on the Cricut. Look at all these cute effects. So I used my Cricut glitter gel pen, and it's a size 0.8 in Peacock. You will see on your pens, if you don't know this already, there's always a little arrow on the pen. When you click this into your Cricut, you want to make sure that that arrow is in the front. I don't know what difference it makes, but they say it's a thing. At any rate, so I just put this on some darker paper so you could see. This is the first one that we did that was the cutout, and I could go back in and grab the inside of the P and the inside of the R and put those dots in there if I were going to use that. I think, and back it with something dark. I think that's easier than trying to use the letters individually, and peel them off and put them on something. And then we did have some smearage, which has never happened. I don't really know why that happened, but there you go. The next one is when we did just the writing with the pen. That's spring. And then this is when we changed it over to lettering with the pen, or drawing rather, and you get just the outline. And then when we did all the offsets, we got this version. So think of all the fun you can have with that. There are a few gaps in the bottom one where we filled it in. If they bother you, just take your pen, and I think that's about it. There, done. Oh, right here. No more white spots. And it's as easy as that. I should probably move that down. There you go. And so you could do so many different things on cards and signs and stuff for your journal. So many fun things you can do. So give that technique a try and see if you like it. And I'll come back soon and show you the project that I was actually going for when I fell down this rabbit hole. So yeah, that's me, the rabbit hole faller. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And I hope you thought it was interesting. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks, you guys. Bye.